Welcome to this edition of 5 Minutes of Lean. This topic is going to be on waste and visual management of waste. This one was brought in by request, so I had a couple of people ask for this one. And so much like any other, waste elimination activity, this can be fun and exciting and really get teams engaged and energized about making improvement. Um, really, this can become habit. For me, it has. For other folks I've talked to, eliminating waste and identifying waste is a habit. I also feel like, especially if you couple it up with good visual management, that it really can become contagious. So when some groups or other folks see what you're accomplishing through the visualization of it, or just by out there doing it, it can really be contagious and get other people excited. Another thing I really like about kind of pairing your waste elimination with some visual management is that you can approach that waste reduction a lot more efficiently if it's visualized. So you don't have, six people doing the same thing. You can really get some structure around it and some guidance around it so that you don't have a ton of duplication of effort. And I also feel like as you move it forward, you maintain that engagement because not everything that gets identified could be fixed immediately or even in the next month or 2 months. So to have it visually there that folks understand it is moving along is really helpful and keeps that engagement. I also feel like having some good visual management coupled up with your waste elimination helps leverage it once you've completed it. So once you've gotten through that exercise, you've come up with a new best practice, a new process, reduced or eliminated that waste. If you're visually documenting that and making it intuitive and simple to read, then folks can grab that and leverage it across other parts of the enterprise. I also feel like it can be extremely rewarding. So if you're able to look at that visual management and see, hey, these are the things we were able to knock out so far this year, I think that's really motivating and helps people kind of stay on task and look for that next opportunity. So a lot like other visual management, I really feel it needs to be intuitive. You have to be able to look at it and understand what it means. It needs to be simple to maintain. So if you make it really complex and overcomplicated to maintain, folks just aren't going to do it. And primarily, like all visual management, it needs to drive the proper behavior. So just a couple ideas to throw around and talk about with your teams if you're looking at embarking on some visual management around your waste elimination and reduction program. So it should be very clear what's out there, what concepts are out there, what perceived waste are people seeing. I also think it's helpful to have the status. So understanding, okay, it's a concept, but now we've actually done some work to collect some data. Now we've got some people working on it. And maybe we're implementing it, maybe we're remeasuring it. And I've got some samples here that show some of those different categories so that you can see the status. This next sample here I'm going to show gives you a little more flavor and is a little more complex for the teams that need this. You can go to this next level where as you're working through the steps, we're also looking into responsibility and target timeframes to get things done. So I think a lot of groups that are really heavily engaged in it and have the resources and the energy to keep this more robust management system in place, I think it can really help. I also think with both of these and this next one I'm going to share with you, having a theme, can generate a lot of energy, can get people excited. Also helps you with some sort of reward recognition program. You can tie it to the theme, makes it a little more interesting, a little more fun. So this particular sample here that I'm showing is another company, not our company, that I was privileged enough to sit in on a session, a workshop where they talked about their system, and it was called a Bright Ideas System. And I wanted to share this, not just because they've got it in place and it works great, but it also gives it another dynamic. It's a little more complex of the status, and it also integrates kind of that approval process into the management itself. And I will tell you, this particular one is tied to a reward system that has been highly effective. The people there really enjoy it. They get excited about it. They get little light bulb pins that show their opportunities and the waste that they've eliminated. And it's a pretty inexpensive reward recognition program that drives that desired behavior of continuously improving and continuously reducing and driving out the waste in your business. So I hope that you found this one helpful and that some of these samples might inspire you to get some visual management in place for your waste reduction and elimination. And as always, if you've got any feedback on this video or need any help, please reach out.